Chapter 27, Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, by Sarah J. Maas. She's done it again. Here we are with another fantasy novel written by Sarah J. Maas, and we couldn't resist reading it. So join us in this chapter where we review the book by telling you what we liked, what we disliked, and whether or not it's worth reading. Don't worry, there is also a spoiler-free part at the beginning and a prediction part at the end. We post on Wednesdays. Turn the page. Welcome to another chapter of Between the Pages. If this is your first time joining us, we welcome you. My name is Haneen.
And my name is Nesma.
We host this podcast together where we review and recommend books for you.
We usually have non-spoiler chapters for those of you who want a spoiler-free review of a book, and spoiler chapters where we simply review the book down to every last detail. But, however, from now on, we're going to combine them together in one episode, so the first couple minutes of the episode will be for non-spoiler, and the rest of it will be spoiler for those of you who have read the book.
And if this is a book in a series, we might do predictions in the end for the coming book.
Yeah, of like theories or ideas that we have of what might come next.
Yeah, and then go back to them when the book finally comes out and see how far off the chart we were, or on point. Who knows?
Who knows? So today we have Crescent City, a house of earth
and blood.
A House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas.
Our favorite author.
One of our favorite authors. Yeah. I absolutely love her. I love her writing, which is basically the reason I think why we bought this book. Mm-hmm. I didn't think we read the synopsis.
We didn't. We just
bought it. Yeah. Come on, it's Sarah J. Maas. We have to buy it.
We didn't know anything about the story. Yeah. Even from Instagram reviews, or we didn't even read what it was about. We were like, oh, they got Crescent City and we haven't yet. And just that, without even knowing what was the story about.
Exactly, yeah. And I think, for me, if I think about it, I think this is the true success of an author, that simply your readers hear your name and just blindly buy your book. Yeah. I think she has reached the peak of her success at the moment, which is why it's scary, because if she makes one wrong step, it could go downhill from here.
Yeah.
Because right now she's at a very good place. Mm-hmm. She's very popular.
But we're with you through and through, Sarah J. Maas. I guess I only read the synopsis when I was in chapter 3. I was so confused that I'm like, wait, what?
What is this about?
What is this about? Exactly. Yeah. I turned the book to read the synopsis. You can actually read it for you.
Yeah, we should read the synopsis for those of you, for the non-spoiler part. But I was going to say that while I first read the couple chapters, I didn't even know who was the main character. It wasn't pretty clear. Like Danica and Bryce, there was something... Okay, it was written from Bryce's perspective, but there was something you still don't know what's going to happen if you haven't read the synopsis. If you have read it and you're pretty aware of it,
Bryce and Hunt are the heroes.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that Bryce and Hunt are the center of the story. Yeah, but anyway, let's read the synopsis together so we know what it's about.
Bryce Quinlan used to light up Crescent City, partying all night in the clubs where the strict classes of angel, shifter, human, and fae merge into a sea of beautiful bodies. And then a demon murdered her closest friends. 2 years later, when the supposed killer is behind bars but the crimes start up again, the city's leaders command Bryce to help investigate. They assign an enslaved fallen angel, Hunt Athalar, to make sure she does. But as Bryce fights to uncover the truth and resists her attraction to the brooding angel, who shadows her every step, she finds herself following a trail that leads deep into her own dark past.
I'm actually quite happy that I didn't read the synopsis because I wasn't even aware of Hunt coming into the picture. That's how clueless I was, you know?
Yeah.
And I loved every minute of it. Like the idea of not knowing what's going to happen, who are the characters that are going to be the center of the story. And then Hunt was there when something happened, but I didn't know that he was going to be significant later on in the story. So it was interesting to experience that, you know?
Yeah. And when I read that her friends are going to die, none of them had died yet. And I was like, who's going to die? Who of them, you know?
Yeah,
I was like, I
someone's
was
gonna
waiting
die.
for it. And then the more Sarah J. Maas makes us like, yani, love someone,
Yeah.
I'm like, is it gonna be him? Is it gonna be her? Is it gonna be them? You know? I kept like that for a while until the incident happened. Basically that, like, where the story is supposed to start from, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we should try, and quote unquote try, to give them an overview of the world. Yeah, I need to help them when they start reading the book, because it was very confusing for us.
Yeah, it
for
was.
a while until we got used to it and knew who's what and what is what, and you know. Yeah. So there are 4 houses. House of Earth and Blood, which contains in it, or like people are aligned to it, who are shifters, humans, witches, ordinary animals, and many others to whom Thona calls, as well as some chosen by Luna. Those are goddesses, of course. And there is the House of Sky and Breath. This holds the Malachim, angels, Fae, elementals, sprites, and those who are blessed by Solus, along with some favored by Luna. And Solus is the god of sun, and Luna the goddess of the moon, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, House of Many Waters. This has river spirits, mare, yes, as in mermaids, water beasts, nymphs, kelpies, nox, and others watched over by Uginas. And the last house is House of Flame and Shadow. This has demonaki, reapers, wraiths, vampires, draki, dragons, necromancers, and many wicked and unnamed things that even Erd herself cannot see. I guess Erd, from what I inferred is the goddess of the gods, I guess. I don't know, it's like the big one.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and there are like there is something called the Republic. It has Asteri, which is like Asteri. They're basically stars, I think.
Yeah.
Like, or have star powers. There are 7. One of them is dead. And there are governors. And there are governors underneath them. And then heads of every people, I guess. Like a king for the Fae, a queen for the witches, a queen for the water people.
Yeah. And the humans have a king as well.
Yeah, and then Prime for the shifters and the werewolves and the humans. And of course, the least people who have any privileges are the humans. Should have said beings, not people. Anyway. Yeah, so that's, I guess, a map of what this world is.
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
No, I don't think you have. I think there's Lunathian, the city.
The city, which is Crescent City as well.
Yeah, and you have it's like a whole like a crescent moon, you know.
Yeah.
And it has 4 gates.
Yeah.
And these gates have powers,
or lead to like each gate is for one of the houses, I think.
Yeah. I think the map is the most confusing thing to memorize, but I think that's why you have it in the book, so you can keep going back to it.
Yeah.
So you can have an idea of where the characters are moving. Like the apartment, okay, that's here. I don't know, the comitium, that's there. The gate, the rose gate, oh, that's over here, so it's not far away from there. So it's like you have an idea of what the place will look
You're
like.
following them.
Yeah.
makes it more realistic, I think.
Yeah, realistic. Yeah.
In a way.
Okay, so I think the next thing that we should move on to is how the experience was as a whole of reading the book. I think we previously said I think you told me like another Instagram account said like the first 300 pages or something.
It was
like
our
that.
friend who told us, but like,
Right. Who was it?
Selma said, you mean the Instagrammer? She said that she tells a story.
Yeah.
Said
Okay.
this in her review.
Yeah.
But I guess
the
it's
first
more
300
like the 400. The first 400.
True.
Half of the book, basically.
But the book is 800 pages long, over 800 pages, so it is understandable that it will take you some time to get used to a new world because it's a new
And it
series.
has a lot of details.
So much detail, but not boring detail.
No.
It's very interesting.
Every detail played a role by the end. Like,
Yes.
That's me telling you, concentrate.
Concentrate on every little thing. I wasn't too shocked about it because I'm quite aware that this is Sarah J. Maas's style. Like whenever she starts a new series, she always goes right into
right,
it.
and as if we know.
As if we already know everything. And I think that's the kind of best way to introduce to introduce the reader to a new story. Why? Because you're treating the reader as a smart person, you know?
Otherwise, it's an intro to an article, you know?
Right, and you feel like the author is not trusting you to understand, you know? No, the author would rather confuse you, let you figure it out, so you feel proud of yourself. I'm like, yes, I got it. Yes, I understood this. Yeah, like, first of all, it's like you're being pushed into like cold water, but then like once you get swimming, the water gets warm and everything. So
yeah. I guess for people who are new to reading, or they wouldn't get it right away, but we're used to it because we read a lot. You know?
And it is an adult fantasy novel,
guess,
so I think whoever's reading it is hopefully an adult. You know, but anyway, after we pass that confusion point, maybe it will happen earlier for you, who knows? You get really invested in the characters.
Yes.
You really root for them and you want good things to happen for them. So at first you're like, if you're introduced to like new characters other than Bryce, the protagonist, it's weird at first, like, who are these people? And they're not usually human. They're something else.
Yes, and you get their point of views as well, not just Bryce's or Hunt's.
Yeah.
You see things from their point of view. It gives you an insight into them. The book is written in the third person. Unlike Court of Thorns and Roses, yes? She started doing the third person in a Court of Frost and
She used to do that with other characters other than Farah. They would get third person.
Yeah.
Weirdly, why? I don't understand. Anyway, we're going off point. Another thing that I really liked about Crescent City was the switch between characters. Not in the traditional way where you have it, the title of the chapter is the name of the character. You have it different now. There's just the number of the chapter, and then you go on not knowing which character is going to be there, and you have switches in the chapter itself. So that was very refreshing than your usual style, you know?
Yeah. Something that I think will go unresolved for you is the cover of the book and the chapters that has a crescent and the raven on it, a black raven.
Yeah.
And we're like,
we still don't know.
Yes, we can decipher the cover or
who it is, what's
or why
it
the
for.
raven, like.
Yeah, and why does the raven have green eyes? You don't know. I have a feeling that the cover is Bryce, maybe in her full bloom power. But she looks like she's like a robot or like a queen or something. She has like armor on, and I don't know, something is off. And that's if you figure it out, let us know, because until now we've read the book and we have no idea what the cover is about.
Yes, so that's a challenge for you. Go read the book and tell us what you think.
I think lastly we should tell them, would we recommend the book for them or not?
Well, if you're a Sarah J. Maas fan or reader, of course, I think you owe it to yourself to read her books.
I mean, if they're
guess.
Sarah J. Maas fans, they probably already have read it.
Yeah, and we're like too late to the party. But if you haven't read Sarah J. Maas before, I recommend, I don't know, starting with this book or the other books.
I wouldn't start with this one because she's not famous for this one. She's famous for the other ones. Maybe they should read Throne of Glass or A Court of Thorns and Roses.
A Court of Thorns and Roses.
It depends on how much time you have. Throne of Glass series is way larger than A Court of Thorns and Roses. There's still books coming for ACOTAR, but they're still not out.
Yeah.
So you still have a chance to catch up.
But I mean, if you haven't yet, like, why are you living?
Yeah. But I personally, so I'm not one to jump on like the trend train, you know, if there's like a book that's trending, I'm not usually one to grab it. But I thought it would be healthy for our podcast if we did. Plus, it's Sarah J. Maas, we had to. So I personally, yes, I would recommend you read it. It's not bad. It's not like a total waste of time. It is not a waste of time at all.
No,
You don't feel like it won't... Maybe some of the things in the book won't meet your expectations, but that's completely normal. That's with any book.
Yes. But this book is rich with a lot of things. So
Yeah, it's
I guess
a
it's
lot of
fulfilling
detail.
in a way.
Yeah. So I would totally recommend you read it.
Yeah. And if you are one of those people who I can't wait for the next book to come out, I guess you can read this now and not read the epilogue.
Right. I was going to tell you that this is the first time that I'm invested in a series that just came out.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
not
with
usually
ACOTAR, I think,
yeah.
and
I'm
other
not
series,
usually into that. You know, I always like to read when
collect
there's
the series and then start reading it. Yeah.
Yep, that's my thing. So this is going to be agony to wait for the next book. But hey, we have a lot more to read in the meantime. So
Yeah. The solution is to start another book right away, you know?
right away. All right, let's jump into the spoiler part.
And it's the spoiler part, so it's spoilery.
So anyone who hasn't read it, stop listening here, go and grab the book and read it, and then come back again. So, what are some of the things that we have to say about the spoiler? Okay, at the beginning, or overall, like when I read throughout the story, I was kind of noticing a lot of mirroring between ACOTAR and Crescent City. There were some events that I felt like she used them from the ACOTAR series and simply just changed the characters and the setting. Like, for example, by the end of the story, when Hun got captured by Mika and Bryce decided to save him, and it kind of reminded me of the scene with Under the Mountain when Farah went back to save Tamlin. In my eyes, it seems like Sarah was afraid. So with some of the plot lines, she was afraid to go outside of the box because she found her rhythm and the idea of like a plot line, so she's kind of sticking with it. So I was kind of disappointed that she didn't go and think outside of the box a little, but I guess I understand why she did it, because she's being safe. She knows what her readers love and what they want to read.
And I mean, we loved it.
I loved it, but I kind of expected more, you know?
But still, Bardo, by the end, she was... like shit has gone down.
Yeah.
It's like Under the Mountain again as well.
Again, it's like the... But I guess this is a normal plotline, like event-wise. Like, if you write a story, even if you write a movie...
That's the climax.
Yeah, you have a climax, and then you have the resolve after the climax. So it's like the typical story. After that, like at the beginning of the story with Bryce, I wasn't sure of why she was the protagonist. You know, she was so mundane and so messy. You know, I wasn't really sure what is so special about her. Why is she the protagonist of all these people? Like Danica, for example, she's so like from the beginning I was aware of how powerful and how amazing she is, then why is Bryce half fae, half human, the protagonist of the story? So I was like, I can't wait to find out. And then after Danika's death and after the pack has died, I'm like, okay, that's why. Because they're gonna be gone.
Yeah.
There's only she left, so.
That was so sad.
Yeah, that was really sad. But I guess that's not really a spoiler in the sense of if you have read the synopsis, you already know they're gonna die.
But the mysterious part around it, it had so many layers and so like threads that you go after, and then it's a dead end, and
Yes.
it was too much. They
It
could have
was.
cut it shorter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you're not into the mystery thing.
No, I'm not. And that's something about it was so simple. Like she took such a traditional plot line and added it to such an vast, huge world, you know? And it's just a
With
murder.
a lot of players.
I'm like, okay, so the story is just a murder mystery, but in this huge, amazing world. I'm like, okay, you could have come up with something like more grand than that. But I guess if that's fine, if that's what she wants to go for, she really made it successful.
Yeah.
I wasn't bored at all. And I was happy with it, you know, it wasn't bad.
I didn't like I liked the mystery,
Yeah.
and I guess maybe the dead end threads were like
Yeah.
for us to know the characters more and to reveal about them more things, yani. But I think I didn't like the idea of the Troyari being sort of cops. You know, they had this uniform about them. I don't mean the literal uniform. The image of like they're cops and investigating
Like
and
peacekeepers or something.
Like,
Why?
yeah. They could
Everyone
have just
had
been
a role.
warriors, you know.
Yeah, they could have just, You're right. It could have been, the roles could have been distributed a little better, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else, I loved how Sarah J. Maas was able to make us fall in love with the characters at the very beginning, right before they got killed.
And this was the tool I knew. Yeah, I mean, she made us love Danica so much, and I was like,
How did she do that? Like, I want to know. As a writer myself, like I'm trying to really wrap my head around how she did it, how she made me fall in love with a character right before she kills him in like chapter 3 or 4. And like we're just 4 chapters in. How am I so invested in a character, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess this is the power of writing. So there must have been something. I think Danica's character was probably very developed by the time she started writing the story. So she has an idea of what Danica's like and what makes her so attractive to people. So I don't know, she used that as an element, I think. How she did it, like if we analyze the text and see where it started and where it ended, I still have no clue. Yeah. But
The things they did for each other.
oh
Wow.
yeah. Through love, all is possible. I loved everything about it.
Yes, I mean, Sarah
The
J. Maas
flash
did-
drive that was hidden in the jacket. What?
Yeah, what?
And that was the password for
Her
that.
account at the company.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love how Sarah J. Maas used such a cliche thing and
Yeah.
made it so fantastical
Powerful.
and powerful. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about that silly, but like justified theory I had. Okay.
Okay.
That turned so far off the chart, but like yeah. Okay, so you see, Sarah J. Maas always doesn't make her character be with the first person she loves.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You had a feeling there was someone else in the picture other than Hunt.
yes.
Danica.
No.
Who?
No, not Danica. Micah.
Micah?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
It's Mika, I think, actually. Mika. I have no idea.
Whatever.
Mika, whatever. You really thought it was gonna... What? Okay. But he's the bad guy in the whole thing. You thought it was gonna be like a Reese thing. He's like, he looks evil, but he's not.
Yes, and the way she reacted to him the very first time, I was like, okay.
Who knows? Maybe something happens in the second book. Who knows? But I have a feeling Hunt and Bryce are actually...
Yeah, I think they're going
through.
to stick with the first love thing.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, it's not really first love thing,
there
is
was
it?
Connor.
There was Connor in the picture. Again, we became so invested in that. Like, there was really... I wanted them to have the date.
Waiting for the date, exactly.
It's amazing. How does she do that? But it's wonderful to see someone so successful that we love, you know?
And then when he asked her out... Micah or whatever. And she was like, I'm not interested. I was like, okay, there's a pattern. Like, I mean, they would... I saw them in the future together and talking about this, you know?
Well, if she really did that in the second book, then she's really copying Akotar. She's really copying.
But it's not... Micah or Micah. Anyway.
Just say Micah.
It's not him.
Yeah. No. He's
in a
dead.
Vacuum cleaner right now.
Right,
wow,
he's dead.
That was... I loved that everyone saw everything. It was scary. It was scary as hell.
Yeah.
But I loved that was in front of all of these people. It felt... I don't know.
Right. I remember my favorite scene... No. That wasn't my favorite. Right. I was going to say about the scene where I almost cried. The scene where he cut his wings off.
Yes.
I was really on the verge of crying. I was holding myself together not to cry. I was reading the scene and I was like literally so tensed up. And when I read it and when I read the scene, I actually called out no, and then my brother was like from the other room was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "No." I was really so sad for him. This is the first I love it when an author does this to me, you know, that I'm so attached to this character, and when something bad happens to them, I can't bear it, and yeah, it was excruciating. It was terrible, but amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was terrible to read, you know. It felt like someone was killing someone you loved, you know. And just you were there in the room. You could see it happening.
And it was so pointless, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the other angel, she was like they'll grow back, but
he said they'll grow back.
I mean,
but it's painful.
Yeah.
It's just painful, basically.
And the way she took care of him after.
Yes.
That was the sweetest.
Right. There was something weird about the incorporation with a modern world, like with electronics. I couldn't really see an angel or a half fae, half human holding a phone or scrolling through social media or sitting...
taking selfies.
Or sitting and watching TV. And it was... I kind of like I had this movie in my head that I watched before. It kind of helped me get the picture. It's Valerian, with the City of 1,000 Planets. You've watched it, right?
Yes.
And I kind of pictured it the same way, like weird creatures with humans. There's cars and electricity and like there's all sorts of things, and I kind of imagined Crescent City being this way as well, like a mix of things with like a modern city as well around them. So it kind of gave me an idea of it. Yeah.
I don't know. She even commented on like, you're so normal watching a game and like them. cap and everything.
He was wearing the cap. I love that scene where they changed the cap and she put it on her head, and that was cute.
And the taking photos of each other thing.
Yes, I knew that was gonna come back and bite him. I swear to God, I knew it.
As well, yeah.
I knew she only did that so it's gonna be like a collection of photos that are gonna be used against him. I already saw that coming. That's pretty obvious. That this is just something to, like, inflict pain.
But it was cute.
It was adorable. And something else as well. I really loved the names in this book. Like Danica, Isaiah, I don't know, Isaiah. And you have Syrinx.
They're all a mouthful, I tell you.
And Jessica and Micah. It's all like weird names, but they're also and Bryce, yeah. It's it feels like a boy's name.
That unique.
No, but I like that she chose a not unique name for the protagonist. You know, it's easy to remember, it's snappy, it's normal, it's كده.
I hated the repetition of a party girl, party girl, party girl, party girl. I'm like, okay. I mean, she's not really... Like, she is.
She is. We just didn't see that part of her. We saw the end of it. Like, where she stopped being a party girl. But
yeah,
before that, we know that she always partied and always went with Danica and had drugs and everything.
Yeah, and the scene that she kept giving us pieces of, and then she gave it to us in the end.
Which one?
The thing that happened with them when they were in college.
Remind me again?
The motorcycle thing. Incident.
Oh, yeah.
That was so clever. Like, she keeps referring to it, and we get a new part each time, but then by the end, it's like her secret, you know? It's where her secret for the first time was shown to someone other than her parents. So when she said in the synopsis that, like, a lot of things are revealed or like dark things are revealed in her past, they are
She's not kidding.
Yeah, I mean, there is this, there is her blinding the oracle and her father turning her to the curb.
Yeah. Her being the daughter of
the king. Her being starborn. What else in her past? Like how her mom got away, and like her relationship with her ruined her brother. I loved him, loved him.
I was
like, why is she so hard on him? You know?
No, I loved even the dynamic of the relationship itself. Like, we don't get that a lot in any... It's always like...
The brother-sister
relationship. It's not there, you know, in a lot of stories of Sarah J. Maas. And it's like... it's something new and fresh. Yeah. I loved it.
I loved her playing with the point of views of not the narration point of views. I mean, of who knows what and who doesn't, and then this person knows it, and so we get the reaction twice or something. You know, it's like, I don't know. I love that versus the conflict happening.
Right.
And she played with that very well.
She did.
And the adult aspect of the novel. When
Right.
they said it's an adult novel, did they just talk about the swearing? I mean, in the young adult novels, there was a lot of lovemaking scenes, and in this one, it's none, actually. Like,
just like 2 scenes, and they're always interrupted.
yeah, I mean, like, okay.
And I know
This
she's
more adult-like.
I know she's doing this to tease us. You know, to keep us going for the next part, so we finally have that feeling, you know. But I don't know. Yeah, I would have still bought the second book even if she would have put it in the first novel. Like, you don't need to tease us like this, you know. Unnecessary.
Oh, and the way they said, not the I love you. But
Yeah.
like, Loa, don't be such a coward and come say it to my face. I love that
I
part.
love that the last scene.
Yes.
What you? If I have to be midway dying for you to admit your feelings to me?
It's like in the choice, come bother me, baby.
Yeah.
Marry me and stuff.
That was really good. I loved the last chapter where finally everything settled down and Hunt gained his freedom.
That was mind blowing. I mean, from the moment Hypaxia, the witch, the queen witch,
Hypaxia.
removed his halo,
Yeah,
like he gained his power back, and like
that was so cool.
yes. But it was again Tamlin being the spell released off him, and
Yeah, it's the same thing. It
But
feels like a
it's-
pattern.
but it's amazing, you know. I love the familiarity, like,
Yeah.
or maybe that I'm a Sarah J. Maas reader. I know where this happened before.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess
Like,
you could look
has
at
a-
it.
Yeah, I like to look at the bright side.
To look at the bright side. I'm a Sarah J. Maas fan. I know her storylines.
But I think if we see Sarah J. Maas in the context of authorship, as in being not obsessed, but like persistent with an idea and trying to explore it throughout her stories,
Yeah,
I guess it would be the idea of different worlds, you know?
true.
Like,
Like universe, like a different universe where the
and
same story.
dimensions and planets.
Yeah.
Not necessarily planets in the sense we know, but like that there is a veil to another world.
Yeah.
Like it's there in Throne of Glass. It's there in Akotara.
Mhm.
Barely, but it's there, and it's
Maybe she will incorporate them as well. Who knows? Maybe
like
a
maybe it's
sneaky-
another Marvel Cinematic Universe, or
Yeah.
like that different worlds exist together and know about each other. In the end, you know. I would like that. I mean, she did that, by the way, with Throne of Glass and Akotar.
Yeah, that scene where. But we don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they
but
don't
there
know
is
about
a
it.
scene where a character from Throne of Glass
Is incorporated into the Akatar series.
Yes, just glimpse of it, but you know, like who she's talking about.
Yeah.
And it was sort of a spoiler to
To the series.
Akotar, yeah.
Yeah.
In a way. Anyway. We don't have any predictions prepared, but
But we'll just wing it.
yeah. Okay, I think let's think about what happened in the end.
Yeah.
So Bryce gained not unparalleled powers, but a lot of powers.
Mm-hmm.
She did something that might show the world that lesser beings can be as powerful, and this challenges the Republic of like keeping the status quo of people where they are, beings where they are, and
Yeah.
just benefiting off them and all the terrible
Oh my
things
god,
they're
I just
doing.
have an idea.
Hmm?
Do the half fae and the lower beings have a queen?
They belong to the House of Earth and Blood.
But they are lesser beings, right?
Yeah,
So what if she becomes like
their queen.
their leader or something? Because she stands for them. Like she's
Yeah,
their idol maybe then, you know?
And she sort of saved them. She went for them.
Yeah. Right, she did.
Maybe she doesn't become the queen of the Fae, but the queen of the humans.
Yeah. I have a feeling that now that a half fae, half human being made the drop and actually came up without an anchor, that other people will try to do the same. But I feel like because we had that scene where the king says, "What? No, this has never been done before. Some people have tried to go past their
And
level
died.
and have died and never come back again." So that
With
now,
artificial power.
and now that it happened,
done, yeah.
it happened. But again, this is a special case because
Mm-hmm.
we know it's related to the quote, "Through love, everything is possible."
And
so it's,
Danica, and yeah.
so it's like a special thing. This is like a one-time thing only. This is
Yeah.
only if you're lucky, really, really lucky, this will happen to you. But I feel like, what if other people will try to challenge it, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't
Maybe.
think this is like relevant to the plot. Maybe this
No.
is going to be something in the background.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
on the news,
Not gonna
she will
make-
hear like another 2 people have been found making the drop and not coming back up again.
No, but I think some of the major things that haven't been resolved is Rune's prophecy of the royal bloodline will end with him.
Yes. Right, and his match, Hypaxia. He was supposed to marry Hypaxia.
Yeah.
There was something going on right before the
I
story ended.
love
I
that, yeah.
have a feeling there's something clicking. It's just me. Like right before, he was like describing how beautiful she was and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a chemistry there, of course. The first time he met this witch who says she had ancient tutors and like he thought she was beautiful and had this attraction to her, I said, this is the queen his father wants him to marry.
And he said right before he left the place and he was talking to her, he forgot to ask her for his name, right?
Yes,
For her name.
But
sorry.
it was so obvious.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I love that he
really
didn't
obvious.
know and we know, you know. This is what I was talking about with point of views, that sometimes we know things the characters don't and other
Well,
characters
I didn't
don't.
know. I didn't catch it. For me, it seemed like a side character.
Okay.
Like, but a side character that will show up again, you know, because when he said, "I didn't ask her for her name," that means, oh, Sarah J. Maas won't leave us like this. She will tell us her name after later.
But he was so taken by her, and
yeah, he was.
I wanted it to be that kind of story that, you know, you're going to marry someone forcibly and then you fall in love with them before
accidentally or before you met them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid something will happen between Bryce and Hunt. Something that will separate them to make the story more interesting. Because that now they're together,
something will happen.
Something needs to happen
yes.
to separate them. So we have this, we want them back together again kind of feeling.
Yeah.
You know. So we like keep going. You know. So
yes.
I have a feeling that something like that would
Might
happen.
go on,
Maybe.
It happened in all her stories.
Yeah,
so
it did happen with recent Farah.
so definitely that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Not just recent Farah. You haven't reached
No,
that
I haven't
part.
reached that.
There is also this kind of situation in
Okay.
no glass.
I am thinking that after I finish Murder on the Orient Express, I maybe
Continue
Throne of Gas till you come back,
Yeah.
and then we move on to other books.
Yeah, do that. Well, Twilight.
Or Twilight. Oh, there's so many choices.
Anyway, back to Crescent City.
Yes.
What might happen? I think there was in the epilogue. There was this big
smallest hint at something.
It's something that we even don't know what the something is, but.
You even texted me later as like, I could have lived without the epilogue.
Exactly. It makes me wonder now. But I guess let's wonder together.
Well, we have to wonder because it's the start of a series.
Exactly. Definitely Hunt's father will be in the picture.
Okay.
And I don't know, he will mess things up. Like maybe he's the reason that they will get separated.
Separated, yeah.
Or I don't know, he'll be the new villain maybe. You know?
Yeah.
I think that the Autumn King, Bryce's biological father, will be more in the picture as well.
Maybe now that she has so much power, he's afraid of her, so he's gonna try and like sneak up Shueya to be on her good side.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll try to be her father, kind of.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
they hinted a lot that he's guilty about it, but I mean,
Yeah.
meh.
Meh.
He's more interested with experiments. Like maybe he would want to study her now that she made the drop without an anchor in his terms, and gained artificial power or something. And I think Sarah J. Maas repeated the thing with Farah where she has multiple powers.
Yeah.
With Bryce as well, because when she was like making the ascend, she was like with wings and with fangs and with, I don't know, there was this description.
Right, because Farah got multiple powers from...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's maybe spoiling Akatar.
Yeah, we just spoiled Akatar. Sorry.
Anyway. Oops.
Oopsie. Small slip up.
But I mean the way she killed Micah. And then, wow.
I loved it.
And the idea of time warping when a governor dies, and him killing Sandra, and it was like, I killed Micah, I killed Sandra. It's not a competition, you guys. And it was funny.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the epilogue again.
In the epilogue, there's not really a hint to what might happen. There's just the idea of something going to happen.
Yeah, but there is talk of Bryce
Hunt's
not
father.
having Hunt's father and Bryce not having the same starlight as her brothers. That's of another queen.
And Thea's light. Thea, that's one of the Asteri.
I think.
Yeah. I think that's one of the Asteri, the one who's allegedly been snuffed out. But her light still shines. And she can tell the difference between the light. So...
Not she, he, the Idas. Or Idas.
Yeah.
And maybe he was in love with her or something. Like, he said...
Idas?
He said that blood... Ozzy, that light is still sung in my blood, so I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
And,
So... Oh, God.
But were they sarcastic when they said that Hunt's father would be proud?
Sarcastic? No idea.
As in, like, he won't be proud, he'd actually be mad, you know? As in, we just predicted that he would be,
Right, so if he's mad, he has something to be mad about. So there's a motive for the next book.
Yeah.
But who is his father?
Yeah.
Who is the father?
I think he's an archangel. Maybe he is. A higher angel.
I don't know if I would like that.
Maybe he'll be the governor of Crescent City.
Wow.
And Hunt would be under his father now. And he doesn't like him because he left his mother
Yeah.
to fend for herself, and because they were like lesser angels. So I don't know, if we continue with the theme that Bryce and Hunt are mirrors, then he has a father who resents him, like
Bryce
she
has
does.
the same. Yeah.
Okay. I think his father is really powerful, because otherwise, how is Hunt that powerful, you know?
Yeah. No, it does make sense. I think it's linked to the father. And something is going to happen in that area. It has to.
Yeah.
Because the father was mentioned in the epilogue, so he has to appear in the second book.
And still, the horn is a thing, and she was told not to use it, so...
She's definitely going to use it.
And she will have need of it. And remember that dream, not so much as dream with Idas as a cat as well, after she summoned him the same night, he was like, what blinds an oracle? Make the drop rise. He was like that. You remember? So I think
it reminds you again of like Farah when she went to the what's her name?
Oh, it's at the tip of my tongue. Cereal.
The cereal.
Yeah.
And she told her as well something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I would love to experience, of course, this is not something that if it doesn't happen, I won't be mad. But I want like a hint of like the universes or the dimensions overlapping.
Well,
something
I think
happening.
this is where the horn comes in. You know, not just with hell, but like Micah won it with other.
Did you notice hell being written with one L?
Yes, and a capital H.
Yeah.
Upper, lower, and uppercase H. So I'm like, And
so it's not our usual hell. It's not the normal hell.
Yeah.
It's something else.
And Adias or Idis, he was like, or Adis, whatever. He was like, maybe it's just another planet. And, you know, and he was like, hinting that it's not just what we think or picture. Yeah. He reminds me of Hades, you know, like the god of the underworld. Yeah. Maybe that's more of the Underking. I don't know.
Anyway, we're very excited for the next book.
Coming out November 2021.
Next year.
Exactly a year. And the third book, I think it's just the trilogy, will be in March. So close to that book.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Anyway.
Well, anyway, thank you for joining us for this episode. Do you have any other predictions? Okay. I don't have any other. So that's it for today. Thank you for listening if you have made it this far. We hope you liked it. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
See you.
Bye. Thank you for making it to the end of this chapter. We hope you've enjoyed this review of Crescent City and are excited as we are for the next book. In the meantime, we are going to pick up another murder mystery, but of the more traditional kind, which is Murder on the Orient Express by the well-known Agatha Christie, our first of many reviews of her books on our podcast. Thank you for listening. We post on Wednesdays. Mark the page for chapter 28.